Honey, allow me to introduce myself. I am April Sampé, a singer, an actress, and a vegan food blogger. I'm around people all day who don't understand the struggles of a vegan. The most awful joke ever. When I say that I can eat a small farm animal after this thing. I know. This is the terrible thing I've ever said. Listen, I love my friends. I really do. But you know what I love even more? Food. Child, I could spend all day in a restaurant.
So when I was thinking about wanting to open a plant-based restaurant, that was just what made sense to me. Yeah. Like, let's do the restaurant that we don't see here.
Meeting new people gives me my entire life. I love getting people to try foods that they would never try anywhere else. So a person who's not vegan would actually enjoy this meal and feel as if they would never stop eating their fish. Okay, can I be real with you all? Look, my whole life is not just about food. Although I love it a lot, but I like trying new things. Being in different environments. Come on, when was the last time you went to a drum circle? I want you all to watch me have fun. Watch me work. Watch me do my thing. And try the food. Because when you hang with me, you get to hang out with the cool kids. So sit back, relax, and take this journey with me. Veg out and dine. Honey, allow me to introduce myself. I am April Sampé, a singer, an actress, and a vegan food blogger. I'm around people all day who don't understand the struggles of a vegan. The most awful joke ever.
All right. All right. Did y'all hear that? Are we able to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. We're going to move on to the next one. There we go. Out, down. That's what you're saying. No. Y'all see that? Yeah. All right. Did y'all see the video? We having some little technical difficulties. Did y'all see Alkemia's video or not?
I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
Yes, and I want those kale chips.
Oh, okay, good. Now we get into the next one. You see that?
Go ahead. I can't. Go ahead.
While we're waiting, can I ask you all the dehydrator?
Yeah.
Where did you get that dehydrator?
The Sedona?
It's just the donut dehydrator.
Yeah.
And because I've never had a dehydrator and I've always wanted one.
Mhm.
And do you leave things in overnight and then the next day it's completed?
Okay,
That's
can
usually
you
the
see the
easiest
video?
way, but certain things take less time, so you wouldn't want to leave it in overnight. So it just depends on what you're making.
Okay.
The kale chips I left in overnight because
They, yeah, my mouth is watering for some kale chips, and I usually make mine in the oven.
nice. Yeah. The benefit of doing it in the dehydrator is that you can set it to where it doesn't go above 118.
Right. So they're raw.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Are we seeing Ietef's video?
Mhm.
Might be
Yeah, you
missing
should.
something.
But we can't hear it.
You can't hear it. Okay, that's what I need to ask. I'm trying to hear it and I can't. I'm trying to think. Okay, I think we got it. Can you hear it?
Organic in the hood, innovative culture. Chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green.
Oh, there we go. See, you just sitting there.
I ain't seen the stars in a week. Cali fire's got it smoked out, can't see. Children stripped at the border, how can this be? They just want a piece of land just to go and grow a seed. Family colors like you and me. If we can strap at the mall over shoe piece, we can march on the front line for that new piece. Lyrics always meant to teach the blind, that's what I see. Organic in the hood, innovative culture. Chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green. Water's hella foggy, city pockets full of flint. No solar panels in the hood, still paying rent. And the kids get sick, and that's a fact. And the feds still getting paid for all of that. How you supposed to grow in dirty water? I'm in the garden growing for my daughters. Water's light, plant a seed and follow. Organic in the hood, innovative culture. Chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green. Chemtrails cause fires in the west, sprayed all over the hood. Never thought that shit could be good. Now the sheriff said you gotta move. They wanna build a highway in. There ain't nothing you can do, I'm telling. It's like a jungle sometimes. I see him killing the trees, corrupt land with the foreign disease, displacing animals. That makes it harder to breathe. Make you fall to your knees, reminiscing the beast. Before you sit down, praying on full directions. Using food stamps in the produce section. Get some land, harvest water, keep it moving. It's eye for an eye, son, they got the show improving. See me manifest the heat, hold the heat in the night. Hopefully, roll tight, eat fresh, eat right. Watch what you say now, watch what you do. Watch what you say now, watch what you do. Like, yeah. My hands in dirt. Water the seeds and some sunbeams.
Drop a seed and feed a nation with that green gold.
Organic in the hood, innovative culture. Chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green, chopping up the fresh green.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was so dope. Okay, let's get back to the stream. I appreciate everybody with that. I hope we was able to see everybody, all the viewers. Let me get the chats and the comments going. Can everybody see and hear us? We're in here, we're talking. I'm going to introduce the guests. I wanted to give everyone a good depiction of who we have on the call today. So let's start with some bios, starting with April Sampé. April Sampé is a singer, songwriter, television host, producer, motivational speaker, and creator of VEG Out and Dine. Thank you for joining us today, April. I'm so excited that you're here, and I can't wait to talk to you about your venture. Then we have Naijha. Alkemia Earth. She is she's certified in the healing arts of medical qigong, Reiki, bioenergy, and spiritual alchemy. That's why I love her so much. She's a beautiful spirit. And she's a dedicated practitioner of transformation and energy therapy, and she's been doing that since 2011. Love it. Great energy, great energy. And then we have Ietef, also known as DJ Kavum. He coined the term eco hip hop in 2007. He didn't know it would sprout into a global movement. His mission to rap about climate change, food justice, and plant-based food spread far beyond his Denver hometown. Having performed at the Obama White House and on the Rachel Ray Show, Dr. Ietef DJ Kavum Vita became known as more than just a rapper, but an activist, educator, and vegan chef. So, we're to everybody, give it up to the three powerhouses that we have in the house. And I, of course, am Naijha Wright-Brown. I'm co-owner of the Land of Kush Vegan Soul Bistro in Baltimore and executive director of the Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland. And I'm also a contributor to Jane Unchained News. So thank you, Jane, for allowing us this platform to have this discussion. We're going to start with April. April, I want you to talk to the viewers about what's been going on with you. When I met you a few years ago, you were performing in clubs. My husband actually told me about you. I don't know if you were vegan at that time or not, but I knew with you and the spirit and your voice, I said, she's beautiful, she's lovely. And I'm so glad to have you last year at Vegan Soul Fest as one of the features. People loved you. People that didn't even know who you were, they was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I came. Now they know you. So this is a beautiful thing. Tell us about this journey. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you because it was because of you I was able to be a part of that platform. But just in general, who am I? I'm a performer. I mean, I was born performing. I've been performing since I was a baby. I became a vegan, and I learned that something that you brought up a few seconds ago. So many people thought that vegan food tastes like garbage, and I felt that it was only necessary to turn my love for entertaining people to into a way to educate people. So from that, I became a certified vegan life coach. I'm actually in, Ruby. I'm taking a Ruby course so I can learn more about how to actually prepare the vegan cuisine. And I also have an album coming out called Ugly, which really focuses on being more compassionate. So I think that, when you become vegan, all of a sudden your whole life changes because you're not just looking at, oh, well, this is good for my body. You're looking at, okay, this is not just good for me. This is good for the animals. This is good for the planet. This is good for my fellow man. And your whole life changes because of that. So I'm a person who has turned entertainment into education. So I guess it's edutainment.
Edutainment. I love that word. Like I use it all the time. When you say you're training with Ruby, is that Dr. Ruby from What the Hell?
No. It's a program.
Oh, it's a program. Okay, Ruby. I didn't know that. When you said I thought of Dr. Ruby.
I love Dr. Ruby.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for that, April. I want to get to Ietef and Alkemia now. I have a special bond with these two lovely people and beautiful couple. It's great to see Black love because Black love matters. And my journey with Ietef and Alkemia is this. I was planning Vegan Soul Fest with Brenda Sanders. She's also an activist in Baltimore, my partner in Vegan Soul Fest. I was planning, and we weren't sure who we were going to have perform, so we were just in this state of mind. We had 3.5 months to put this thing together, the first Vegan Soul Fest in Baltimore. And one of our customers that works at Johns Hopkins School of Public Health said, you need to get this guy, and he sent this profile of DJ Kavum. And, I was like, oh, wow, this dude is awesome. Like this whole eco hip hop thing. This is 2014. But, we only had 3.5 months. We was working on like a minuscule budget. So that really wasn't the year to kind of, bring them down. But the following year, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ietef and Alkemia, I think 2015 is when you were doing something at the White House with the Obamas, because you had reached out, and I was, you was telling me, yeah, I'm going to be in DC, and all this other stuff. And, I'm trying to get tickets to go to this thing, but of course I didn't get any tickets. But it was just so amazing to find out that this couple was doing a culinary concert for the Obamas. So I flew down to DC, to get the whole White House. I flew down to DC just to meet them. And, we were at Busboys and Poets. And, I also met a couple of other people down there that were with you. And it was just, that's how we connected. And we've been connected ever since. And then we had them at Vegan Soul Fest in 2015. And now they're like, my brother and sister now. So welcome. But tell us about you, Ietef and Alkemia.
Yeah, so I love started with hip hop culture, definitely with a tray of sunflower sprouts, and then we've been connected ever since. As far as myself, I'm an organic gardener, environmental hip hop artist. I have a PhD in urban ecology. My focus is to redefine the image of wealth in hip hop. I started an organization called Going Green, Living Bling in 2002, basically to highlight, what it means to transform the culture. And I was bringing artists and activists together. I mean, all the way from MC Light to Dead Prez, connecting the culture and actually integrating the idea of sustainability within the form of hip hop, speaking on different, organizations as we started to grow. But when I started to think about like the love that we have and how we've been able to take this, to another level, we've been able to speak overseas, teaching waste diversion and speaking at different universities in Azerbaijan, all the way down to like, just connecting with youth here at like Tuskegee University down to UC Irvine. So basically educating, using art as a, tool for social change. And, you can see within the music videos and a lot of the work that we're doing is important. So Alkemia, let them know, like, I think when we think about health and wellness, that's where she really brings in the connection for hip hop in my life. What you think?
Yeah, all of that and above. I think, well, with him, it's I think it's just beautiful the way he brings music into a very tangible and edible form, especially with his latest, Biomimics album. And he released it on organic seed packets. So something that you can listen to and plant. And that's just definitely, our commonality is just our passion for, I particularly, my mission is to help humans reconnect with soul, reconnect with nature, that source. And one of the tools that I use is high vibrational foods as a gateway for transformation. And, there's many ways of transformation, but I think it's, food is deep because it's one of the daily conversations that we have with ourselves. And that conversation will either be moving us towards, who we are or moving us away from that. So, food is very intimate. So if we can take that to the highest level, it just, it ripples outward. Like she said, when you transform in terms of when you become more mindful about what you're putting in your body, because we understand that it resonates on every single level and that we are nature. It's not something that we have to go to or go get in. We actually are nature. It's just reconnecting with that. And when we reconnect through food, it ripples outwards. You start to, other channels start to open up within you in terms of your compassion and just your connectedness to source, and how that there is nothing that we're not connected to. And this is why our true nature is one.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So how do we address this concern or this misconception, I'm going to say, because I had a conversation with a very close friend of mine yesterday, and I was disappointed to find out that some of these donation sites that are seeking food from people are saying that vegan food isn't food. What is your response to that? Like, what are they talking about?
Can I ask a question first? Did they mean packaged vegan food, like processed foods? Were they looking at something along those lines? Because
vegan food in general. So let's say we made some vegan beefaroni, let's just take that as an example. You have your protein, obviously, I guess the beefaroni is some type of, whether it's, you know, soy, wheat, or whatever protein that they're using in some pasta. And the attitude was, okay, that's the side dish, and, you know, you can't possibly just eat that. You have to have animals in order to have food. Let's just put it out. You have to be eating animals to have food. Like, what is your response when people say that?
I have to, so I'm sorry, I hope you all don't mind, but the first thing that I think about is elementary school. In elementary school, we were taught the pyramid. And you're taught that you have to have a piece of meat on every plate. And so if that's the way that these people were brought up, you kind of have to meet them where they are and explain to them that vegan food is food. Therefore, so you have to ask them, okay, what kind of food do you eat? Just in general, do you eat apple? Yes. Okay, that's vegan. You know what I mean? And so really, you have to actually reteach these people and explain to them the same way that they learned initially. You learned when you were 5 that there's a food pyramid. You learned that you have to have milk or some form of dairy with every, you know, just about every meal. You have to have some type of protein, and protein is all meat, as opposed to anything that grows has protein. So
right. And beans aren't protein or anything like that. Like, and your dairy is killing the African American community if no one knows about that. So this stuffing dairy down our children's throats, something needs to be done about it.
It's an interesting conversation. I think that there are a lot of things that are happening. I know a couple of years ago, even just working with like just city and municipal, you can definitely start to create a, you know, connection between organic gardening and a connection between families having access to locally grown food, so people will eat what they can recognize, you know. And at the same time, the conversation will start to actually open up for people to feel connected to the earth. Because yeah, I mean, you can throw events. We've thrown events in the past. We've thrown like microfilm festivals. We did something called Produce for the People, where we connected with the local grocery store and had like literally like over $300 worth of free groceries that we gave out that night. That was all organic produce. And at the same time, we showed films that were connecting towards the vegan lifestyle, and at the same time, environmental awareness. So giving people the option of how it's connected towards deforestation, how there's like, you know, water conservation that could happen when we can save like thousands of gallons of water per beef patty. At the same time, you can grow a whole garden with that. And so the connection between composting, what to do with your vegetables after you're done eating that, waste aversion is imperative, and not enough people in our community know about that. So working with, you know, our ways to address that. Okay, food banks and things like that get subsidies, and they are a lot of times mostly maybe even paid to take the runoff and the excess of dairy companies a lot of times. And we already know that they're already subsidized by government industries. So really connecting people in urban marketing is imperative. A lot of the businesses that are promoting and creating vegan meals need to actually have people who live in urban marginalized communities involved in their marketing. If they don't see themselves, they won't buy them. And that's really about, you know, seeing the elitist vegan community a lot of times has left out the clipboard kids outside of the urban community. They're not even canvassing for sustainability, let alone feeling comfortable walking in those communities. So it is about creating a biodiversity, not only in our food, not only in our gardens, but within how we actually do our environmental and you know, sustainability social work, you know, connecting with people and through our marketing. And as artists, of course, you see I do that with my music, but it would be great if we saw more vegan products, including urban marketing, to actually protect and integrate the ideas of sustainability for all. That's what I would say.
I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you said that, because the thing about us being the face to go out and market this message is very important. And, you know, there's a number of, you know, Black Veg, Black Vegan, Afro Vegan, all these type of associations. And we definitely need to band together and do the hard work of bringing this message into the community. You know, I had a conversation earlier last week about, how do we do this? Food is social. So if you talk about going vegan, then the first thing is, all your friends are going to the steakhouse and you're the only one left out. So now it becomes an uncomfortable situation and everybody's looking at you like it's crazy. But if you know better, we need to do better and just educate. And we have to be the face of that,
True.
About the West Coast experience, you see that out there a lot, Alkemia.
What?
And like in the West Coast, you feel like there's a lot of people where people are connected. Like maybe it's different out east, but out in the West, like Oakland, like the Bay Area, you see a lot of biodiversity in the marketing. When you go down south, you see more like even broadcasters in the news are more. There's more POC involved in that. You know what I mean? But when we think about it, when you come to like places like Montana, Colorado, down to like Arizona. The diversity in the marketing is not really there, but the population is there, but you don't see that diversity that much. But once you go to like after the mountains and you go like towards like LA and like the Bay, it's different. Like people actually are connecting. There's a lot more normalized ideas of working together than what you can see from post-traumatic stress that's dealing with the South and the East. And up North, we already know what it is. So how can we work on implicit bias and working on that conversation with community at the same time talking about wellness, like because wellness is it hasn't seemed that it's only for like the elite, but how can we make that a identity that almost like even the Rastaman was connected to, and like the yogis in India who could live without this materialistic lifestyle to still embrace identities of wellness. Like what do you think, Alkemia? Like that's a dope combo right there.
What's the
like
question?
Connecting wellness and the identity of like the humble man at the same time, like the elitist perspective of like when we think eating healthy and having access.
Well, I think the key is what you just said. This is all about eliminating false beliefs and mindsets. And right now, even in this conversation, we are experiencing a mindset as if somehow people connected to source and them living their truths through food and through wisdom or whatever it is, there's a scarcity of that. I think what we are in harmony with is what resonates with us. So if we think that there is a scarcity of people out there who are awakening, then that's exactly what we will be prone to see. But actually, the truth of the matter is that the truth is never. There's no scarcity at the source of anything. There's no. And when it comes and creation, the source of creation itself is abundant. This is why when we go out and we harvest lettuce or an herb, what does nature do? It gives us more of that. It gives us more of that. So the truth of the matter is we just need to lead by example. Like if you're the light, every time that you live, every time that you speak, because it's a lifestyle, that light will resonate with someone else. And we have to understand that every soul is in their own process of awakening. So we are going to have certain people who are still mentally, asleep or mentally coming into that awakening stage. And they may have this false belief that the only way that you can get a complete meal is by eating dead animals or by taking a life or having bloodshed. And for them, that is the reality. And they're not wrong for thinking that. They grew up in the same hostile environment, United States in this world, and understand that in a world of polarities, we're going to have examples of all extremes in between. And so we're going to always have the awakening process. We're always going to have the people that come into the awareness. And then we know that there's up levels to everything. So just keep shining the light. That's the answer to it. People who come with these false beliefs or, they have a belief system. This is why we have to do the mental work, because everything comes back to our thoughts, and our thoughts is what creates our direct reality. And so by going in the way that the mind has been enchained, we can go backwards and work through that, through the people, by leading by example, making yourself available, putting information out there, and then they will start to digest that, and it will penetrate them when the time is right, when they are called to.
Right, psychological thing. They have to be ready. Yeah, they have to be psychologically ready for that. April, do you have anything to say? Talk about the show, the TV show that you have coming up.
So I have Veg Out and Dine, and now Veg Out Live. So Veg Out and Dine is A
What's the
reality.
website? Because people are asking for websites. I just put Chef Ietef's out there and Alkemia. I'll put yours. And what's your website so people can find out more information?
So the website is Veg Out and Dine. Unfortunately, it's under construction. It'll be up by Thursday of next week. But Veg Out and Dine. You can follow me on any form of social media at Veg Out and Dine. But what Veg Out and Dine is a reality show, plain and simple. You're pretty much following me through all of my day-to-day situations. And what I mean by that, I perform. There have been so many times that I've had a performance, I'm supposed to eat, and there's nothing for me to eat, but my band have food. And they want me there at 11 o'clock in the morning for sound check. It's very far out. I bring my clothes. I can't leave until the show is over, which is about 11 o'clock at night. So I'm going through a whole day of not having food and watching other people eat. That's just an example.
Right.
But I also go to different vegan restaurants and showcase those wonderful, wonderful restaurants, the owners, the chefs, and some of the clients, and just, showcasing their experiences, what made them open up that restaurant, what made them decide to go vegan themselves, and what it's done for them. So that's Veg Out and Dine. Veg Out Live, it's funny, I've been trying to work with different networks to get Veg Out and Dine on network television. And a lot of them keep saying, well, you need to get your numbers up. You need to get your numbers up. And I was thinking about interviewing different vegan celebrities. And that's pretty much all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it happened. So, and that happened, I called you a week and a half ago?
Yeah, I remember. I'm gonna show the ad right now so people can see who's coming up and when. Okay. So April is actually, one second. I gotta remove this banner, this big banner that I have here. April is going to be interviewing John Sally next Thursday, May 14th at 7 p.m. So you can check that out next Thursday at Veg Out Live and at Veg Out and Dine. So congratulations on that. That's a great guest to have on the show. So make sure you all are tuned into that next Thursday.
Thank you very much. So the week after, we're actually interviewing a young lady by the name of Jess Niche. She's a comedian. She is not a vegan. However, she is promoting a vegan hair conditioner. So I want to talk to you about how is it that you have this conditioner that you're working with. Now it's time to move you on so that you can start living the lifestyle as well.
Yeah, baby steps. Yeah.
Listen, you're doing something to help the environment and to make a beautiful thing. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Alkemia and Ietef, talk to us about the Vegan FAX TV, and I'll show your broadcast too if I got the right date and everything. What's going on with that? Vegan FAX TV.
Yo, so Vegan FAX was a really dope idea that I thought was important to give back during the time of people trying to figure out how to respond to some of the stigma. What's going on? Or like, where do you get your protein? And how am I going to
number one question, where you get your protein?
Where you already know it's about immune system right now. People trying to figure out like exactly how to live and how not to kill the bees at the same time. I'm like, well, yeah, there's a lot of information out there. So, it all started with just like an idea on how to clap back, as a vegan. So we hit them with the vegan clap back on Vegan FAX TV, which is going to broadcast live off our Instagram pages until we figure out the conversation which you also understand. Like a lot of the networks, even we work with the network. We work with Plant-Based Network. We sit on the advisory committee along with Miyoko and some other really great companies. But the thing is, a lot of our networks are frozen, and so we are all going live. Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing to do right now. Engage with your community. Can definitely highlight that. I've been celebrating International Composting Week. This is the last day of International Composting Week. Also, my homie's birthday, Shuteska, from Earth Guardians. So we've been thinking about how we can integrate sustainability and also work with celebrities. So like, yeah, you already know what it is. That is what it's all about. Shout out to my man Ron Finley because he just dropped his Garden Vibe. So this is what's all going on. Like, it's basically connecting artists, activists, and community organizers to have conversations. We had one with Justin Bua last week, actually on Earth Day week, and at the same time celebrating really dope openings to highlighting artists. Like, if you got hip hop music that's about sustainability, that's about veganism, DM it, send it to us. I want to premiere it. We just premiered some other songs from a new artist named Ra Yosef. Dope kid, man. Like, he sent me some song about alkaline dripping. I was like, look at this, man. Like, I keep clapping every time.
I saw somebody the other day that I posted his video. He had on Gray's plant-based dripping shirt as well. I thought that was hot. Like, I want to talk to him.
They're coming out of nowhere, and it all started from that call to action that we did out on that TED Talk. We needed more MCs to speak about it, and now they're stepping up to the plate. We can throw a rock and find a veggie burger and a vegan rapper. Let's go. I think we basically are creating the genre what we needed, no different than gangster rap. So yeah, let's highlight it. Of course, Vegan Facts TV will be there Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on our Instagram Live, so you can check it out. We're going to be promoting.
So it's 8 p.m. Because I got a flyer here that's showing 7 p.m. PST. Okay,
which is
IG Live at Ietef. It's at Ietef at 7 p.m. PST Wednesday. Yeah. Okay, I got it up
which
here.
Which is 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah.
Okay, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So for anyone that wants to follow and get into the whole Vegan Facts TV tune in, you got it here. IG Live at Ietef at 7 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. MST, Mountain Standard Time. And if you're on Eastern Standard Time, then it's what is that? 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock. Okay.
No. It's in the evening. It's in the
evening. But my next question is going to be: how have you been holding up during this pandemic? And I know both of you tour, or you've done a lot of events, and Ietef, I know you've been touring around. What has been going on? How have you been handling it? Because I know here at the Land of Kush, we had to do a lot of things differently. We're sustaining, but we are down, over 50% in revenue. So we are doing what we can to survive. But we have some friends that have permanently closed down, which is sad because of this pandemic. So how are you maintaining? What are you doing?
What are we doing, man?
And we can start with April. With April, how are you maintaining?
All I can say is, and that's about it. No, I feel that the way that I've been getting by is constant meditation. Meditation is probably the best thing, because I think that if I didn't meditate, I'd be losing my mind.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Working out and meditating.
I haven't even been working out nearly as much as I should. I've been more resting as much as possible, but
I can do more of that.
Yeah, I haven't been able to rest prior to. So I felt that this was. People keep saying that this is the earth renewing itself. I feel that it's the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Food, eating, cooking at home. I have not eaten out at all since this started. I've been cooking everything in the house, and it kind of feels good because my body is feeling stronger.
I've been doing the opposite. I actually been supporting local business. I have a restaurant, people are supporting us. So I have been out supporting local businesses. So I'm doing the opposite. I'm eating out, carry out.
But where I am, we don't have very many restaurants nearby. I have to go further out in order to get to them. Like, I have to go in the heart of DC, and I'm a few miles away. So.
Okay. Well, good. But that's good. I'm glad you're maintaining. What about you, Alkemia and Ietef? What have you been doing?
Well, we've been in the garden, so planting seeds on every level. So mind, body, spirit, and it's a beautiful time. Right. It's an abundant time. So
she's been working on her cleanse. We actually we both did our cleanse that she started like a couple weeks ago.
By seed planning, I mean that. I wrote 2 ebooks, and so I put those out for people to, just to help them with boosting immunity. So I did a Tea Talk Rituals ebook that I released a couple, like in March, and then I have one that's, top 10 detox drinks that I just released a couple days ago, and then I'm doing a free masterclass next week, and then I have my summer cleanse coming up. So
prolific.
Someone just sent a message or a comment. They have a group video called Planet Vegan. Shall they share it with Ietef? Let's see their group video, Planet Vegan. I said
Please
share it with
do.
Ietef. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's super needed right now, because like when I think about everything that's happening, like, we've been literally creating digital products, creating like online presence, getting everything organized. You already know we have this record label, Plant-Based Records, selling seeds, sending seeds all the way to Michigan because people need them.
Paige from Jane Unchained, she's one of the program directors I work with, said she loved meeting you two at the Cali Veg Fest and Hollywood Digital event 2 years ago. She wants you to come back to Cali so you can be rebooked for the Lunch Break Live. So that's Paige shouting out from Jane Unchained. And I'll take this time to definitely shout out Jane Unchained News, as a sponsor, having me on here in the platform. Definitely a welfare world, veg fund, and women funders and animal rights. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do this show on their platform. I mean, on my other platforms, yes, but it's nice to have all these extra platforms to promote on and invite guests to talk about these issues. There's a lot of comments on there. I don't know if you can see all the comments, but there's things that people are expressing. They're glad that you're all on the show. Another question I had was, oh my goodness, what are some of the challenges? If you can think of one main challenge that you've had on this journey in your life that you would want to solve for, what would that be? And it could be something personal. It could be something on the global, national scale. Like if you can think of the one biggest challenge that you can solve for right now today, what would that be? That's a hard one.
It is a hard one. I feel like there's so many, but you all go first.
Honestly, for me, I think the biggest thing is just the disconnect from soul. And I don't mean that in a religious way or anything. When we disconnect from soul, we are literally, when we're disconnected from source, that's where everything begins. That's where the war begins, the inner war, the spiritual war, which manifests outward. So the worldly problems, the opposite of love, the opposite of everything that is beautiful, So if we can just plug people back into source, that's all good comes from there, in terms of mind, body, spirit, material world, elements, everything. So mindset, the deranged thoughts people get, that create these things and these situations and these, the dark forces. So it's just, for me, it's about reconnecting people back to source. I use food as a gateway. There are many ways, but that's one of the daily ways that we are constantly disconnecting from it.
Thank you for that. I believe in that solely, definitely. You want to add anything, Ietef, or April?
It's just an interesting convo. I just think that it's really important to highlight food as medicine and also how to save seed. I think saving your seed is really imperative. There's a new single from Public Enemy. It's called "Food is a Machine Gun." Shout out to Chuck D for that, because he was highlighting, some of these issues in the food industrial complex. A lot of times that our community hasn't really been involved in, and it's really about being a provider. Just focusing on supporting local farmers. No matter if you got a felony or not, you can still sell microgreen sprouts to a high-end restaurant. So it's like highlighting ways of creating green jobs development and at the same time agronomy, so that we can protect ourselves by growing food at the same time creating cooperative economics. So yeah, love and light, step your seed game up. That's what it's all about.
That's the seed game up. Exactly. April?
I would really say self-love. I would say
that's a big one.
Well, when I first started, I realized how much I did not love myself. And when you start paying attention to what you're putting in your body, because when I first transitioned, it was me transitioning to a totally processed refrigerator. Everything was processed because I wanted to continue eating the same way that I was eating before. But then when you start doing that research and you start learning what you're putting in your body,
Right.
realizing if it grows, it should go in your body. I used to be a lot bigger than I am now. Because
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
I remember.
now they're like,
You
well,
were beautiful then, but you look great now.
but they'll say you're vegan. You're too big to be a vegan. And I'm like, if you knew how big I was before, I've lost a lot. But that's not what this is all about. I'm healthier, much, much, much healthier. I pay attention to what I'm putting in my body. I actually show myself love every day. Like I was talking about my album, it's called Ugly because so many times I was called ugly and I believed that I was ugly. And so ugly now stands for understand God loves you. It doesn't,
Right.
it's nothing negative anymore. It's now a beautiful spin on something negative. So I would say self-love is that thing that I would want to change for everybody, because sometimes I'll fall and say, oh God, I look horrible. I look this. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. But I have to go back and say, no, 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 no. You did everything the way that you were supposed to do it. And when people come to me and do the same thing, I have to tell them the same way. You did everything the way that you were supposed to do it. Like, you have to learn how to love everything that you do. You have to learn how to live with no regrets. You have to learn how to constantly better yourself every single day.
It's learning. I don't know why people think people are born to be perfect. I don't know what that misconception is, and all this misconception about vegans are going to be skinny. Like, everybody has a different body makeup.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's in the genes. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that. And having said that, I know, with Black Veg, we have this free 5-day menu planning kickstart. So you can go to bit.ly 5-day celebrate. And if you want to get some coaching, you can supercharge that, and there's a discount code. So just for anyone that's trying to get on this, planning kick, menu kick, Black Veg is promoting this. So, just taking the time to do some selfless shame promotion. And then also for Jane Unchained News, if you haven't seen New Day, New Chef, newdaynewchef.com, it's on Amazon Prime. 99 cents, or you can get it for free. I think if you're a Prime member, you get it for free. So New Day, New Chef. I know Chef Babette has been on there. John Sally has been on there since the new show, put out by Jane Unchained. So everyone, needs to tune in and definitely check that out. As for me, my challenge is I have to learn that I can't change things that I can't control. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes you're trying to control things and you can't control it. You can't control people. You can't control the government. You can't, you know what I'm saying? So, and it can overwhelm you and make you sad and emotional. But, you have to understand you can only control yourself and change yourself. So if something is not working out right with this person, that person, this entity, then I got to think about how I'm going to change myself so I can feel better. You know what I'm saying? I think people run it's in everything, relationships, friendships, business partnerships, all of that. All you can do is change yourself. So if you want to go vegan, change yourself. You know what I'm saying? And we're out pushing the message, and we can't change somebody. There's somebody else that's interested in hearing what you have to say. Don't get hurt because this person don't want to change. Move on to the next person that needs your help. Yeah. We're fighting with people that don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, move on. Somebody else needs your attention. What last words do you have? Like, what last message do you want to send? What did we miss anything that you wanted to put out? Anything? This would be the time. We're in our last 11 minutes. We have time, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything that you wanted to get out of this broadcast. Any strong messages, that you wanted people to hear.
What's up? Tell them about the cleanse, babe.
I did. Yeah, it starts June 15th. It's a great way to jumpstart.
What's the website?
What's the
Ready,
name?
Reset, Glow, Cleanse.
Ready,
Yeah, so it's a
reset.
7-day online retreat cleanse. I do seasonal cleanses just because I know, the food changes, so different foods, different season.
June
And it's
15th.
just a way to come back, if people, I know that it's hard sometimes, and
When do they
sometimes we
sign
need that
up?
accountability. Now, before June 15th.
So now before June 15th. Okay, I put the website. Talking about June 15th. Keep it fresh. What are we doing, Ietef? I couldn't have the festival this year. I had to cancel it. What are we doing? So Ietef came up with this great idea about Keep It Fresh Day on June 14th. And then we did some things in Baltimore and it kind of got a little too big. So I wanted to do a festival and now I can't do the festival. So it's like, what are we doing? What's the campaign?
So this is what it is. We are going back to the basics. Basically, use Keep It Fresh Day hashtag, posting your plate, and we're posting vegan plates before vegan plates was a postable. You know what I mean? And that's what's dope about. So taking selfies in the produce section, and we are going to get back to exactly what we need to do is highlighting food is medicine. There's a lot of memes and campaigns that's going to happen. Website's going to be highlighted. We definitely have some awardees this year, and things are just going to be back into that flavor that we really need to do. At the same time, really getting into the urban farming, supporting urban farmers, the idea of victory gardens right now. I know a lot of people want to go back to the source and get back to the soil. Water conservation is important. So yeah, we're going to be giving away seeds to people who are going to be doing some really beautiful work as far as promoting Keep It Fresh Day, because I want to see that consistency. Shout out to all the chefs. If you are an artist, integrator who organizes how to pull things together, not only with your art, but within food as well. We'd love to talk to you about how you can collaborate with us. So check us out, keepitfreshday.org, or just use the hashtag on social media, Keep It Fresh Day. And yeah, it was proclaimed by the mayor of Denver, the same one who legalized marijuana, because he's really into health and wellness for food and just plant-based medicines, period. I appreciate it, but at the same time, we need to see more activation in a nationwide organized with composting, because that's the next wave. We need to learn what to do with our soil and our waste. There is no way. Throwing stuff away doesn't exist. Stop burying our trash and really start to think about when we eat out the produce section, it has its own natural wrapper. And if it's compostable, then we know that all it needs is some water to decompose. So it's just talking about that with our friends, family, and businesses and organizers, because that's going to be the next thing to actually prepare the future for the next wave.
Okay, so I'll be looking forward to that, Ietef, so we can get it on our platforms, Black Veg, Veg of Maryland and all of that, okay?
You already know, album's out. You can get the album, chefietef.com. The album is in packets of organic seeds. I got beets, kale, and arugula. It's the first certified USDA organic hip hop album ever. It has a download card on the back with growing instructions on the inside. And the whole point is to basically encourage people to grow food. You basically will just pay yourself to listen to this album. The album is called Biomimics. It's dedicated to biomimicry, to show you how to grow food with trap music. One love. Trap some sprouts, homie. Sprout that life.
Now you see why I love them, right? We getting out to Denver. Me and Greg, my husband's in talk. We got to get out to Denver. After all this is over, we got to get out there. Go ahead, April.
I'm coming to Denver too. Listen, I'm inviting myself. The one thing that I would add is be ugly. I'm sorry. I make ugly look good. I make understanding God loves you look good.
Look at my ugly.
I love it. I think that we have to all really focus on being as ugly as possible. I feel that when we start loving each other and to your point, shining light on each other, then we'll constantly grow as a people. And that's it.
Somebody wants me to show the video again, Ietef's video. So we definitely gonna close out with that, after the video's so hot.
Check out that one or the Sprout That Life video. You got that?
Which one? The Sprout That Life. Oh, now you making it hard for me. I gotta go find the
I'll tell you about it. So it's a fun fact about it. So Sprout That Life was released this day last year. I did a premiere holding up some corporate accountability, doing some talks at Apple in San Francisco. And we did a listening party at the Dugout Garden. Basically, the San Francisco Giants have a garden on their field, right? And so we brought these kids out to come and listen to the album, and it had like a private listening party with Brian Terry, and like we just made like some yummy like oyster mushrooms and like this live salad that was harvested right there with the youth who harvested the salad from these tower gardens, and then we like bumped the album. And so the whole concept of like really what this is about is creating this intergenerational dialogue and actually this urban farming perspective. Kids in the hood, kids in the inner city need to know how they can actually grow food, and that's what the whole project was about. So the Sprout That Life video was all about.
Which one is that on your page? Which one is that on the page? Because I'm on the page now, and I'll close out with that once we're done. Because I'm on your site now. It's on my DJ Kavum page. If you go to my website, it's the first video on my homepage. Biomimic. Oh, the first one on the homepage. Okay.
Yep. So yep, and that one is it's just called Sprout That Life. Website is Chef Ietef, Ietef. Just like you can find me on Twitter, just like you can find me on Instagram, and you can find Alkemia. That's not the first one. I see Biomimics on there as your music video. Yeah. Play it. Oh, that's the one. Okay, but you know when we end the show, I'm gonna go into the Sprout That Life. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, we'll do that. Anything else we need to know before we cut out to that? Again, thanks to Jane Unchained News, Veg Fund, and Welfare World, Women's Funders and Animal Rights as a sponsor. Download a free Veg Starter Guide, AfricanAmericanVeganStarterGuide.com. We've been running the ticker throughout the show. Please, it's a free guide. You want to go vegan, you want to find out about vegan, you want to read interviews, from people of color. That is the guide to download. Thank you, Tracy McWhorter, for that. She's the only first one that produced a guide for us, by us. So thank you for that. Any last words before we get into the video? Yo, definitely thank you for having us. Compost, use food as medicine. Alkemia.
Stay light. Stay light.
Thank you so much for having me, and be ugly.
And if you're in Baltimore, come down to the Land of Kush, landofkush.com. And if you're looking for resources, all things Black Veg, bbsmd.org, or you can follow us on Facebook at Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland. So I'm gonna sign off and transition into this video. So don't leave, viewers. We're gonna check this video out. Bear with me one moment while I get this thing started.
It's all good. Send me some collard greens on dry ice.
I sure will.
Word, like.
I have to start it over one second.
Keep my broccoli local like I always did. Give me your bucket.
Like all sloppy with it. Let's go. All right, y'all see it?
Yeah.
Oh, gotta get better with this, y'all. Sorry, my second time. I'm gonna be a professional in a minute. It's not maximizing the effort. We see it?
I got so much space. I got no more man. Pull up on your block in that veggie van. Keep my broccoli local like I always did. Give me your bucket of two. I sprinkle plant in the streets. I got so much space. I got no more land. Pull up on your block in that veggie van. Keep my broccoli local like I always did. It's that eco hip hop healthy for them kids. Yeah. Your motherfucker so fresh, spit so fresh, garden so clean, grown with the best, rose in my hood, throwing up the X, dirt stay wet, flex, got a pocket full of seeds, what's next? Farmers markets always doing it, how to fresh, look at the way that they eat, you ain't finished your plate, why are you falling asleep? Never too late, be who you needed to be. Meet me out in the wood, ready to plant in the tree. Homie, I'm done. Start that life. 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 I'ma make it twice when you pull up on the corner store. What's the shelf life of your food? They say, I don't know. Why you eat that processed food? They say, I don't know. Why you never try the fresh juice? They say, I don't know. I got gold grapes with the gold carrots. Rolling tower gardens with romaine lettuce. Roto yams, except always for the fan. Played it up like a chef. Post one for the gram, like. Green growing, big green. Start that life. Big 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 green growing. Start that life. Big green growing. Start that life. Big green growing. Big green. Start that life. Big green growing. Big green. Start that life.
Alkemia, I see what's out. All right, y'all. Thanks again for coming on. Peace out. Till next time.
Peace.
Much love.